Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be checking out more of your guys' solar system. So this is now episode 252 and we have a whopping 3 systems today to check out from Phoenix. So without further ado, let's hop straight into this. So he sent 3 systems and he sent 3 enormous text files. So don't know how long this is going to take, but we've got 3 giant ones here, I'm assuming. So let's get into this. So, workshop. I've already got all 3 installed, ready to go. So, the first one we're checking out is called the Algol system. So, where are we? So, it should be... Where are we? There you go. Right, so we're checking out this one. So, there's no description in the game, I don't think. It didn't come up on the workshop. It's taken a while to load, isn't it? And I've got the description up on my side screen here. So, whoa. Okay, that's why it took a while to load. Okay, so the Algol system. So there's a lot of stuff in here. Right. God, even with my PC, that's not the quickest running system. Okay, so the star itself. Right, so it's a lone yellow dwarf star of a spectral type G3V. 18 planets orbit this star, and most out of any star system found. It is also the star with the most info about it due to its large planetary system, including 4 habitable planets, 2 of which are co-orbital. The system's outer planets are also in a Laplace resonance chain of 5 to 2, 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 5 to 3, 6 to 5, and 2 to 1. Host star of the Decitians, Algodians. Yeah, you've lost me already. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pronunciation problems in here because this guy tends to really make words that trip me up, basically. So, the star is 5 billion years old, making it about halfway through the 11 billion year lifespan. Known as Algol siblings include Phoenix, Privy, and Anzu. Okay, so the first of the planets here. So they have their names. So you can see their names here, and then they're just known as Algol 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 18, I'm assuming. So the first one here. So it's a lone world, obviously pretty hot as well. So, Algol 1, a small rocky planet. Rocks on its surface have the consistency of taffy due to high temperatures on its surface. It is also tidally locked to Algol, so one face periodically faces the star. So yeah, it's tidally locked. Temperatures on the day side can reach over 900 degrees Celsius, while its night side can drop below minus 150. It's moonless due to its proximity. Okay. Huphistos is the name there. So there we go. Right, so kind of like Mercury, hot on the face and then really cold on the nighttime side. So next up we got this one here. Glowcurm. Right, okay. Honestly, how he thinks of these names is just crazy. So, right. A small rocky planet with a tenuous, almost non-existent atmosphere and a heavily cratered surface. It is locked in a 3 to 2 spin-orbit resonance, meaning it spins twice for every time it orbits. So, kind of like how Venus works, in some ways. Due to this in its tenuous atmosphere, its day side is at 430 degrees, but its night side is at minus 180 degrees. Its moon is due to its close, like the first one, because it's so close to the star. Okay, right, next up we have got this one here. So, Theria. Okay, right. Here it is. Giving me some of the pronunciations for these. Okay, so this one here, right. A small rocky planet with a very corrosive and thick carbon dioxide rich atmosphere with some nitrogen dioxide, making it a deep orange red from space. It has many volcanoes and lava lakes all across its surface underneath the clouds of nitric acid. Due to its greenhouse effect, it is over 650 degrees all over the planet, even at the poles and at night. It has one asteroid-sized moon, Ignis, orbiting at a highly inclined and elliptical orbit. It has a retrograde rotation once every 7.39 days. So there it is there. And then it has the moon as well. It says Ignis there. So just a little asteroid. Okay, right. Next up we have got this one here. A very thick atmosphere by the looks of it. So that's what it looks like underneath. Okay, right. So this one. So Aphrine. A medium-sized rocky planet with a corrosive carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere with sulfur dioxide and sulfuric acid clouds. Its surface is mainly volcanic, with many volcanoes dotting the landscape. Due to its greenhouse effect, it's over 460 degrees all the time over the planets, and at night it has a close rotation of all the planets, rotating every 197 days. Its moon is due to its retrograde rotation. So kind of with the first 4 planets have got similarities. You know, we've got the 2 with the rocky, with low atmospheres, and then we've got 2 with thicker atmospheres so far. Okay. Next up, we've got a blue... Oh, no, hang on. No, we've got one more here. We've got this one as well. So also a habitable-looking world. Okay, so this is the 5th planet now. So we've got TNs. Is that... Hang on, no. No, this one is called... Oh, God. Host... Oh, God. Desertel. So here it is here. A habitable super Algol rocky planet with tropical environments all over, including its poles. It has one large supercontinent with 4 large deserts. So it has a bunch of deserts, on its surface. Due to this, it sectors to planet-wide dust storms and the large moon, home to the Desertians. Okay, cool. So there's that one. And there's the moon there as well. Cool. Right, next up we have got this one called Pern. Hang on, is there 2 blue ones? Yeah, so there's 2 blue ones. So there's... Where's the other one then? There's 2 orbits there. What is that lighter blue orbit? There it is. Must be this one. Okay, so this one is Algol. Okay, right. So a habitable medium-sized rocky planet with habitable continents and several continents across its surface. It's co-orbital with Pan, which is the next planet out. So pretty cool. And there's 2 moons of its own named Algoroid and Alaguna, home to the stick figures and elementals, collectively known as the Algodians. Cool. So there's its moons as well. So just a basic asteroid there. And there's the second world there. Looking good. Okay. So now we're taking a jump to the next planet out. So this is the one that one's in a shared orbit with. So there's this one. Looking good. So a habitable Earth-sized rocky planet with habitable conditions and several continents across its surface. It's co-orbital with Algol, the last one we checked out, and has moons of its own. Cool. So there it is there. And secondly, we have this one there. Cool. Right, so next up we're taking another jump. So we got this one next. So this one is Tandrael. And it has a lot of rings. There's our lag machine in this system as well. So there we go. So Tandrael. Okay, so a habitable medium-sized rocky planet with polar and temperate conditions and about half a dozen small continents across its surface. The average temperature is 5 degrees as its polar caps cover roughly half the planet. It has 3 moons of its own. Okay. So there are the moons as there. Cool. Next up we have this one. So it's got 2 moons as well. Right, so this one here, so a small rocky planet covered by a cold, rusty desert that spans the whole planet. Due to this, it has been labelled as Desertel JR. However, this atmosphere is extremely thin, 120 times less pressure as of the Algolian surface, which makes it notoriously difficult to land on. It has 2 captured asteroids, so there's your Mars equivalent right there. Okay. So Rosaris. Rosaris is the name of that one, okay. Right, next up we have got this one here. So we're almost in the outer solar system now. So the last of the inner, what looks to be the inner system. So we've got this one now. Okay. So a small rocky planet covered in ice and snow. A cold, foggy atmosphere surrounds this planet, making it almost white from space. Despite its drawbacks, it is considered a prime location in the terraformation due to it resembling a deep frozen version of an Earth-like planet. It hosts 4 moons as well, and its name is Fired? So there it is. So again, we've got a moon there, Icarus. We've got a few more here. Okay, cool. So all asteroid moons, all right. Okay, so now we're taking a jump out. So that's the inner system. Then we've got one more sort of looks to be an asteroid here. So we've got Demet, a rocky planet in the Algol system asteroid belt, contained about a quarter of the mass of the whole asteroid belt. So there's your Ceres sort of equivalent. However, it seems to have been duplicated a feat only large by 2 asteroids. The other 2 are dwarf planet candidates, may contain water, ice under its crust. Its moon is due to its tiny size. So Demet. There it is there. Okay, next up we've got Juvin. Okay, this is definitely a Jupiter. You can tell by the trail colours as well. You know, they're sort of resembling solar system objects now. So this one has a lot of moons. Okay, so here it is. So yeah, very similar to the default looking Jupiter in the game actually. So there it is there. A large gas giant, the largest in the system, winds up to 900 kilometers an hour, have been measured around the planet. Its cloud bands are distinct brown and white stripes and has a large red storm called the Grand Red Spot. Okay, there has been raging for at least 400 years and shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. Wind speeds more than 1,200 miles an hour were measured on the storm. It has 90 moons, 5 are large enough. Okay, so each of the 5 random moons could be a planet in its own right if they're not orbiting. So yeah, there's your Galilean moons equivalent as well. It's got the 5. This one has 5 major moons. Cool. Nice. Okay. So this is the first one. So this is your Io equivalent. So it's got volcanoes. All that there as well. Okay. Next up we got this one. I'm assuming this is the Europa. So Adzlar. Icy moon of an underground ocean. Yeah. So he's got the Galilean moon sort of replicated here. But I don't know what the 5th one is. Because what's the 5th one? So there's this one. So this one is... where are we? I've lost my place in here. So this is the largest moon. So this is your Ganymede system. So it's got underground water. Next up we got Gravemaker. So this is geologically active. Okay, and then lastly we got the Cold Dead Marjana, which is the 5th moon over here. Cool. I guess there's your Callisto sort of version there as well. Cool. So there is those guys. So the largest of the planets. So next up we're taking a jump to, I'm assuming, the Saturn lookalike. Has it got rings? Yeah, it does. Yeah, he's copying the solar system's sort of lineup here. Okay, so we got this one. So Chronox is the name of this one. A large gas giant, winds up to 1,600 miles an hour. As measured around the planet. Its cold bands are more subtle than Juvin's. Every 15 years, large white storms called the white spots appear in the temperate regions of the planet. It has 91 moons and innumerable moonlets. So 7 large enough to be spherical by the looks of it. Is what he's put this out. The most interesting random moons are June, the only moon in this system with a substantial atmosphere. So there's your Titan. So yeah, it's basically a sort of based off our solar system, these planets. So pretty cool. Then we have an Enceladus one here called Gardol, which I'm assuming is probably one of the closer ones near the rings. There it is there. So this is your Enceladus lookalike. It is a mini moon as well, look. So we'll get a quick look at all of these as well. So you got your inner ones. That's probably Mimas equivalent there. Yeah, a lot of moons going on in here, isn't there? Look at that. So there we go. So I'm guessing the Titan one is this one. Or is it? See, where is the Titan light moon then? So, June. So where's that one? We already clicked on that one, didn't we? There it is. Aha, yeah, there it is. So this is the Titan equivalent in the system. Cool. Nice. There's also a moon with a ring system in here, so that's live. Yeah, I've lost my place in the text going back and forth between the screens. That's the only issue of having it on a separate screen. But I'm going to try and cover as much as I can, but I don't want to keep repeating the same bits. So we've got this one as well. So the only moon with a ring system in here. So it's got a planet with rings, then the planet with rings has a moon with rings. There must be a lot of debris flying around this area here as well. That's pretty cool. Right, anyways, we'll move on to the next one. So we covered all this. So it's basically, there's your Saturn equivalent. Next up we have, I'm assuming... See, this is interesting. So we've got a green one now. So we have a white Uranus and then probably a blue Neptune. But what is this green one then? So it must be like an extra. Okay, so this one here. So it's tilted on its side. Maybe it is like a Uranus then. Okay, so here it is. So Vitry, a small ice giant. It's a substantial amount of chlorine in its atmosphere, making it green. Its atmosphere is very corrosive due to hydrogen chloride in its atmosphere. Winds of up to 400 kilometers an hour have been measured around the planet. Its cloud bands are almost impossible to notice. Has 8 moons and a lone elliptical moon. Melendor is situated between the outer storm and small captured asteroids in the inner Shepherd moons. The moon itself is more than a heavily cratered dark ice moon. The 3 other moons are more or less captured asteroids or Shepherd moons. Okay. And 3 thin, nearly dusty rings on the planet. Okay, so this has definitely got a Uranus feel to it. Okay. So this is the moon he was talking about here. So there it is there. Okay, cool. So we've got the green. So what is the more Uranus blue looking? So this is Eurus. So it also tilts on its... Okay, so we've got 2 Uranus-like planets in here then. Okay, so Eurus. So this is planet 14 now. So we're on XIV. That's 14 in Roman numerals. A small ice giant. It has a substantial amount of methane in its atmosphere, making it cyanide turquoise. Winds of up to 1,000 kilometers an hour have been measured around its planet. Its cloud bands are almost impossible to notice. Has 30 moons with 6 large enough. All 6 are smaller than Hadium. Hadium. But 2 of them are remarkably active, boosting canyons and underground oceans. The other moons are little more than captured asteroids or Shepherd moons. About 20 thin, inconspicuous, icy rings around the planet. Okay, so this is your Uranus. The other one's kind of a Uranus 2.0, so there's the moons as well. We'll try and cover all of those. So there we go. Cool. But yeah, there we are. So we said, yeah, some of them have a little bit of activity, but kind of like the real Uranus moons, they're not the most interesting, if you ask me. I mean, if you look at all the moons in the solar system, in our solar system, Uranus's moons are definitely the most forgettable. And so far, yeah, these ones are quite just basic rocks. By the looks of it. So yeah, he's really following the solar system sort of template here. So that's cool. Alright, next up we have got the blue one. So this must be the Neptune equivalent in here. So here it is. And even its like moon system like appearance looks more like a Neptune one with all the orbits a bit all over the place. So okay, so the Neptune equivalent. So Norex. So this is planet 15. A small ice giant has a substantial amount of methane in its atmosphere, making it blue. Winds of up to 2,200 kilometers an hour being measured, making it the windiest planet. So kind of like Neptune is, the fastest winds. Its cloud bands are impossible to notice. It has 50 moons and 2 large enough. They have unusual orbits. So we've got the retrograde one in here as well. So that is Quintus, which is this one here. So this is the Triton-like world. It has a little atmosphere on it as well there. Okay, cool. 14 degrees as well. That's interesting. Then we got the far out asteroids as well. Okay, cool. Nice. So Quintus is an active world of nitrogen gases in a thin atmosphere. So that is your Triton, yeah. And then the other one, Oberkan, is practically dead and heavily cratered, which is the other one nearby. So that was... where is it? This one here. So that's the cratered, beaten up world there. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we're jumping out past the gas giant. So now we've got a pink or a purple one here. So is this going to be a dwarf planet? Okay. So I'm guessing this is Pluto. He's kind of following my colour scheme of how I sort of label the planets. I usually give Pluto like a purple shade, so that's pretty cool. Okay. So a small rocky planet covered with ice and snow. A thick lavender haze of frozen argon and nitrogen in its thick stuffy atmosphere obscures the surface, which is covered in snow and ice due to sheer distance from its host star. A subsurface ocean exists below the thin icy crust ejected from the inner Algol system. It holds 4 moons. Okay, cool. So they all are there. I think there's there's the other one, yeah. Cool. All right. So now we're moving on to a world called Hadean. So I think that's that one counts as the last of the planets. It looks like all these other ones are just classed as dwarf planets. So interesting stuff. Okay. There's like a really far out. Maybe that's like a Planet 9 Sedna kind of thing going on there. So next up we got Hadeon, which is somewhere. Labels on, please. So where is that then? There's a Barry Centre. Is that it there? Ah, it is. Yes. Okay. So what's going on here? So there's Hadean there, and it has a moon called Phoenix. Okay. So an icy dwarf planet, its surface is stained shades of brown and tan due to fallings. A large heart-shaped glacier on its surface is the most interesting feature, alongside the fact it has many other icy bodies. Has subsurface moons. It is in a 3-2 resonance with Norex. Has 5 moons: Phoenix, Telephassa, Silix, Agnor, and Cadmus. The largest and closest moon, Phoenix, is tidally locked and is they're tidally locked to each other. Okay, so kind of like Pluto and Charon in a way, then, like those ones. Okay, cool. Okay, so next up we got another one, so another dwarf planet. So this one is basically your Haumea. So this is Terra Ona, which is this one here. So although you can't get an obscure shape, it rotates very fast. This one has a little ring system as well. Okay. Next up we got Max Nexa. So that's this one over here. This looks like it'll be the Make equivalent of the system. How is it 25 degrees? So there's that one. An icy dwarf planet is stained red due to falling. It's very reflective. Okay. One unnamed moon as well, which I can't see actually around this one. Guessing it's been lost. Okay. Next up we got Fenkoe. An icy dwarf planet. Its surface is stained yellow due to fallings. So where's that? Over here? Cool. Nicely dwarf planet. So stained yellow due to fallings. It is very reflective, reflecting 92% of light that hits it. Is a resonance with 2-to-1 with Norex. Like many other bodies, has subsurface oceans, a thin atmosphere, has 4 moons, and the largest enough to slow down its rotation. Okay. Also has 2 rings. Cool. That's over there. I'm sorry if I'm skipping any of the bits here, because I mean, I have to keep going back and forth. I'm losing my place in the paragraphs. So next up we've got Cryos. So I mean, they're all just dwarf planets really, I mean, to put it frank. So a small rocky planet covered with ice and snow. So this is actually counts as the planet, this one. Okay. Frozen, oxygen and nitrogen in its thick stuffy atmosphere obscures the surface, which is covered with snow and ice due to the sheer distance from its host star. A subsurface ocean exists as well, ejected from the inner system. It has 5 captured asteroids as well. So there's a look at it there, at the top there. Next up we got Ursim, which is this one here. So this one is definitely an Iris. Judging by that orbit, this is definitely an Iris look. So Lizette has 1 moon as well. An icy dwarf planet. Its surface is covered with ice, but unusually is not stained by fallings, unlike its inner neighbours, making it pale grey in colour. Second most reflective object. Yeah, it's definitely an Iris-like object. Cool. That's pretty cool. Next up, we've got... also, we're taking a jump to a world called Etida, which is this object over here. It's another rocky world. Pitch black here. It has a lot of rings. I'm living loads of rings in here. Wow. Okay. Rocky planet with a thick light purple haze made of hydrogen in its thick stuffy atmosphere. Its orbit to the inner cloud perturbs the orbits of the Aranoids. 7 moons as well, and 5 rings orbit this desolate wasteland of a planet. So there we go. So that is the full list. All of these. So 5 rings. Yeah. Oh, this. Yeah, that's mad. Okay. Cool. So that is the full list of this entire system. So, oh, that did take some time to go through, didn't it? I mean, we're already at 24 minutes. I mean, this would be a large episode. I mean, I'm assuming the other ones are quite as large. This could take us up to like 50 minutes or so. So, right, let's see what we got next. So the second system we have now. So that was just the first. We still have 2 more. So next up we've got Alpha Privy. So where are we? There it is there. Okay, so what has this one got for us? Let me get the description up as well. Okay. So Alpha Privy system. Oh my god, this description is enormous. Oh my god. Jeez. Right, let me try and copy this all over so I can get it on my screen. Oh my god, right. Oh, this is mad. Okay, let me just copy this over to this page here. Just bear with me. Will let me copy that much? I mean, let's see if Discord lets me paste this thing. So I'm just getting up on my side screen here. Okay. Damn, that's mad. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's let me send it. Alright, okay, so what we got next then? Oh my god, this one's even bigger than the first one. You know what? I think we may have to split this into another episode because these are enormous. I mean, actually, no, we will do it. We will do it all in one because otherwise it will be going for a while. So, right. Okay, so there's a barycenter in the middle. So the Alpha Privy A system. Okay. So where are we? So where's Alpha? So I'm looking for an object called Alpha. So where is that? Whoa. Hang on. Okay, so we look. No, Alpha Privy A is Feng. I'm just seeing. So that's this object here, right? Okay, so let's start. So the first of the planets. So we got this one here, with a. That's just a mad name. So we got this one here. Vukab Kish. So there it is there. Hot Juvin orbiting extremely close. Being so close to star, it's very hot. It's so hot that it is believed to be larger than Juvin's slight's been. Oh, so this is huge. Oh, hang on, what? It's to be larger than Juvin. What's Juvin? We haven't got to that one yet. I don't know. I'll just roll with it. Its clouds are made of silicates and metals instead of water. Oh, this is comparing it to the other system. Okay, I got it. Yeah. It's also tightly locked and has a large amount of storm on its day side. It has no moons. Like you'd been so close. Okay. We got this one. Hoozadoo. Medium-sized desert planet orbiting near. Its surface is sandy and has a thick, poisonous atmosphere. Okay. It may have once had life before it was roasted. Next up, we got this one. Try and pick up the pace a bit because we don't want to just be stuck. I know it's a bit boring for you guys to watch if you just hear me reading, so I'll try and make it a little more interesting. So, okay, there we go. So the next subject, once touted as one of the most Algol-like planets found, it was disappointing to say the least. When its mass was measured, it was found to be more than 11 times more than Algol. So that's from the last system, despite it being twice the size. It also turned out to be a sweltering, hot, humid and swampy planet with temperatures reaching 90 degrees in the summer. The poles and high elevation areas are pretty much the only places that are even remotely survivable. 2 moons orbit it. Okay, so there's one there. And then the second one here. Okay. Next up we got this one. A large ice giant is much larger than the other ice giants, being roughly twice the mass of Norex. It is particularly interesting as it's situated in the habitable zone, meaning its moons could host life due to Algol itself having no solid surface. It harbours 32 moons, of which 2 have native life forms. So there it is there. That's all the moons. So you can see the nice ocean was. Very cool. Nice. Alright, there we are. Next up we have the next, so this is yeah, this one. No, we want that one. Okay, there we are. Right, so this world here, one of the largest gas giants found. It's nearly 10 times more massive than Juvin from the last system. It's covered with pale blue and white water clouds reflecting 85% of light that hits it. With its huge size, it dominates its subsystem and harbours 168 moons orbiting it. Along with this impressive sight of Brett silver rings that stretch over 600,000 kilometers away from the center of the planet, and then it has 15 large moons, which are all of these guys here. Excellent. So there they all are there. Cool. Let's try and click on them all, but these ones look like basic rocks. Yeah, okay, alright, let's move on. So next up we've got Avan over here. Oh, hang on, no, we're missing a few. No, we need to go to these ones first. So we got this one here. It's a lone world. Pyraxvol. Largest L4 leading Trojan of Anaka and one of the two Trojans of Aranka that is largely enough to be grounded by their own gravity. The other being Sekan, a largely binary companion, which is this one here. Okay. Then we have this one over here. Sechan. Largest of the two Trojans. Okay, large enough to be rounded by their own gravity. Cool. Okay, next up we've got Avan. So that was like one we just tried to jump to. So that's over here. Okay. Cool. It's the sixth and final planet in this subsystem, an unusual planet. When it was first discovered, it was thought to be a rocky terrestrial planet. However, when it transited into a star, transited its star, it turned out to be much larger than expected, just in a thick icy shell or tiny ice giant. It turned out to be an ice giant heavily influenced by the much larger Aranica orbiting nearby. Nevertheless, it has a set of rings around it and 7 moons, because it has 2 rounded moons as well, which is this one here, and one called Drug, so they are those 2. Cool. Right, next up, so we've got a Barry Center. Now we're heading to the second, so the B star. So we've got, this is the A star, this is the B star over here. Okay, so what have we got around here? So the first of the planets. Okay, here it is. So this object here. Right, a hot terrestrial planet orbiting extremely close, being so close that its star makes it very hot. In fact, it's so hot it rains molten rock all over its dayside, scorching its surface with lakes, seas and oceans of lava. It is tidally locked and has no moons, likely to be so close to the star. Okay. Next planet out, also glowing hot by the looks of it, yep. Despite being smaller in size to Algol from the last system, it orbits close to the B star and its atmosphere is mostly being blasted away by strong stellar winds. No moons. Okay. Next up we've got Sphinx over here. Once touted as one of the most Algol-like planets found, it was even more disappointing than Zippercool from the other system. I think Sphinx turned out to be a bone-dry desert planet devoid of life, even though it once had life, but increasing luminosity of Alpha B has evaporated where the oceans it once had. The only refuge from the unforgiving heat of the stars near the poles, and it has 1 moon, which is there, Scarab. Next up we got this one. It's an Earth-like world. Now, where are we? What's this one in the description? So we just did Sphinx. Okay, so yeah, okay, here it is. So this one here, our wheat is all. I don't know how that pronunciation works, but it is the only Hattel planet in this subsystem. It is slightly larger and heavier than Aldu, but almost like an elder brother. In fact, it was the second planet outside the Algol system to be visited by a manned mission. It has 4 moons as well. Cool. So these are all in the same universe, all these systems, so they all do link. Says its moon's there. Okay. Cool. Next up, we've got Gryphon, a cold desert planet in this subsystem. It's a much larger version of Rogers, but covered by a thick layer of ice. 1 moon door orbits this icy planet. So that's this one here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Next up, we have got Tengu. So that's the last of this star's little setup here. So there we go. Right, so a super Algol with an extremely thick hydrogen and helium atmosphere. After discovering that, Avan, a similar planet orbiting around the first star, is an ice giant. It was expected to be somewhat similar, however, Tengu turned out to be a gas dwarf, a type of super Algol with a thick hydrogen and helium atmosphere, but still has a solid or liquid surface underneath all that gas. 6 moons orbit this tiny gas giant. Okay, so there they all are there. Yeah, at the top of the screen. Okay. Cool. So there's those guys. Alright, so now we've done the Barry Center between those two. So there's both of those. So now we're heading to Zillan? Okay, so this is like a rogue planet, this one, Zillant. So it's just in the middle of nowhere, really. It's in a. Is that a binary? It's in a binary with this one here. It was missed in earlier surveys due to its distance from the stars and its dimness. It's quite similar to that far out gas giant we saw in the last system. Once discovered, it's thought to be a small brown dwarf, given it was designation Alpha Privy D. Before its mass estimates revealed it's actually a gas giant under twice the mass of Juvin. Has at least 50 rings alongside 100 moons, which are large enough to pull themselves into ellipsoids. Okay. Has a thick atmosphere dominated by helium, the only substance that is yet to freeze due to these ice cold temperatures. Okay, so there they all are there, and then it has this binary object with this one here. Cool. Alright, so those guys. Alright, so now we're moving on to the third star, which must be a red dwarf by the looks of it, so down here. Okay, so the third star, the second system, we've got one more system after this. Right, so Alpha, so this is the C system. Okay, so the first of the planets. Okay, here we go. Okay, so foreign door. It zips around Alpha C in just 10.5 hours, being tidally locked. Its surface is heated to a glow on its day side, but there is a large cap on the night side. It has no moons, likely being so close. Okay, same principle as all the other ones we've seen closer stars. Next up, we got this one. It's smothered by a thick poisonous atmosphere full of carbon dioxide that causes a runaway greenhouse effect, causing the planet itself to be heated and glow all over. It has no moons. Okay. Next planet out. The hot rocky planet orbiting close to the star, being close to the star and being about 30% of the mass means it is a uninhabitable, bone dry desert planet. Okay. Next up we got Ziz. Medium-sized tundra orbiting in the habitable zone of Alpha C. It is constantly being irradiated and ionizing radiation from Alpha C's mighty flares. Nevertheless, it's life still developed here, but evolved at a rapid pace. Has 3 tiny unnamed asteroid moons. Okay, so they all are there. Just little asteroids. Okay. Next up, we've got Humor. Where are we? So, oh, did I skip something? Hang on, where are we? So we just did Ziz. It says I'm missing. Oh, it goes to this one first. Okay. Okay, so an ice giant. It is an ice giant roughly size of Norex with a larger ring similar to Coronox. It's due to it receiving more stellar radiation. Its atmosphere resembles that of the gas giants and the ice giants, though on a much smaller planet. It has 24 moons. Okay. So next up we've got Lamassu. I don't think he gave a description for this Humor planet, but there it is anyway. And then next up we got Garuda, purple one. So that's in pitch dark now, so we'll open the menu up there. Okay. So, an ice giant. It resembles a colder version of Norex. It's the largest and most massive of the planets in this little mini system. So which poses the problem? How did such a large planet form so far out? So there's no signs of having a large gas giant compared to Juvin or even Coronox. Other than the paradoxical position, it is otherwise largely unremarkable. So its large silver rings has 33 moons, for which large enough cells to be ellipsoids. Okay. Right. Next up we got. So this is the final one now. This one here. So another just in the darkness. An ice giant. It's so cold that the clouds are mostly made of neon instead of methane, giving it a salmon pink colour. Unlike the blue-hued Lamassu and Garuda, it has the same paradox as Garuda, how such a planet can form so far out. It has 17 thin, dusty rings circling it alongside 26 moons, of which 7 are large enough to pull themselves into ellipsoids. Okay, cool. So there is that. So that's the entire second system. So we had a lot of objects in there. But yeah, I was going a little quicker in this one, just so we can get it all in as well, because I don't want to make the video too long as well. But yeah, there they all are there. This is crazy, these systems are, aren't they? Right, so there they are. Okay, so now, moving on to the finale. So we've got the final system. So this is the Privy system. So, let's just get the text up for this guy. Okay, so, let's see here. So let me actually open the system as well. It's the final one of these enormous three. Was it this? Was it? Hang on. Was it this one? No, it's the. So yeah, the P. So where's that then? Am I blind? Where is it? I did install it. Okay, let me just go on the workshop. We'll do this on here. I'm gonna go back. No, don't do that. So we need. What's it called? So it's called the. Where's the submissions? Hang on. Where are we? Oh my god, there's so many. Oh no, it's called the Anzu system. Oh, he changed the name of it. Oh god. Oh man, that really threw me off. He's changed the name of it in his second, because he sent me another post of all the descriptions, and this one's got a different name. No wonder I can't find it. Right. So it's called the Anzu. It's this one. There. Right. Oh, that threw me. Oh, man. Right. So, this is the finale. Here it is. Okay. So, the Anzu. So, why is it called Anzu, but then it's called Pi? I don't know. So, right. Let's get all the text copied over. Looks like it has a smaller description, actually, this one. So, okay. Right. Send myself that as well so I can read it all. The message is too long. Oh god. Right. Oh man. Oh, that's not working well. Ah, it's too much text. Oh wow. How's that 2,000 characters? That doesn't look that big. What? Okay, send that separate then. Here we go. Right. Right, let's give that a shot. There you go, that's better. Right. And dwarf planets. There's a little bit on the dwarf planets as well. Alright, so now, let's finish this. So. Okay. So let's go to the first planet. So there's the star itself, so that's Anzu. Right, so first of the planets, this one here. Caladrius. A Juvian-sized planet, 350 times more massive than Algol. So this name's still occurring. That was from the first one. It has storms of over 1,200 kilometers an hour. Rage to its atmosphere. It's almost white coloured, reflecting over 95% of the light back into space. It shines brightly near the horizon and can be spotted in the day. 36 moons orbit this planet along with a dusty ring system. So a lot of rings have been a lot of moons have been quite close to the star as well. So there they are there, okay. And they look like pretty bog standard moons. So yeah, there we go. All right, okay. So next up we've got Phoenix, another object named Phoenix. Okay. A pale yellow, gold, and red gas giant, 409 times more massive than Algol. The atmosphere contains white water ice clouds similar to those found on Algol. Despite its unassuming presence, winds of 1,700 kilometers below around this gas giant, 60 moons orbit this planet along with an expansive ring system reminiscent of Corox's. Unusually for a moon, the Hatchel moon, Anqua, and Roges-like moon have their own sub-moons. Okay, so there's moons of moons here. Over here. So there they are. So you got one moon here, and then moon of the moon. And there was one more over here as well. Cool. Nice. Cool, cool. So that's all of those, and then the other moons as well. Anything interesting there? That looks to be mostly just rocks. Alright, okay. Cool. Okay, so the next planet out. So this is Turbrul. Alright, okay. A summer pink ice giant, 25 more times massive than Algol. Despite its unassuming appearance, it has winds of 840 kilometers an hour. The planet and its moons are tilted 7 times, meaning they rotate on their side. Okay, cool. There's a Uranus-like tilt there. Alright, okay. Next up, we've got Strix over here. Alright. An orange-coloured ice giant, 24 more times massive than Algol. Storms often rage in this turbulent atmosphere. Winds of 2,500 kilometers blow around this ice giant. 18 moons orbit the planet for a rocky ring system. A lot of rings. He likes his rings. So they are there. Okay. There's a Barry centre there. Okay. We've just done that, didn't we? So that was Strix. Okay, so next up we have got Alkernost, which I'm assuming is something to do with this Barry centre. Where's that? Oh, hey. So I'm guessing it's these guys here. So what's going on here? Aha. Oh no, so those are two different ones. Okay, so there's an object called Alkernost. Where's that then? Oh, over here. Okay, those are dwarf planets. That's why they're not in the right order. Okay, right. So Alkernost. A turquoise-coloured gas giant 10 times more massive than Algol. Storms rage across its turbulent atmosphere. Winds of 420 kilometers an hour blow across its eyes. 8 moons orbit as well. Okay. Cool. So there's that. Oh, so this is the smallest system by far then. Alright, okay. So now we're on the dwarf planets. So Juvin. Where's that? Is that the barycenter one? Let's see if I can find it on here. You. Oh man. UG. Oh, there's a H missing on the description. Oh right, there we go. There it is. I think I must have copied it wrong. Alright. So that's it there. So this is a binary. An icy dwarf planet. They orbit on eccentric and inclined orbit that crosses into Strix's orbit. Moon and its binary companions are 80% the mass and is so large that the two dwarf planets orbit around a point outside. So yeah, the barycenter center of gravity is in between them. Cool. Has a moon of its own as well. Nice. Okay, next up we've got... I have no idea how to even start with this one. So this one has an accent on it. I'm not even going to try that one because that's just going to make me look like a fool. If I haven't already made myself look like a fool with all these, because these names are just... this Saf Phoenix, right? He loves putting ridiculous names in his systems. He's done it before in the competitions. He put some crazy names, and I'm sorry, but my God, Ajalias. As close as I'll get to it. A rapidly rotating blue-coloured ice dwarf planet with a ring. 12.7 resonance with Strix. Okay, next up we've got Ola Tatard. Yeah, I think we need to stop with the names like these because these are just mad. The only one I can say properly is Phoenix. A grey covered icy dwarf planet. It's 13.7 resonance. Okay. It doesn't help, I'm keeping going between the two screens. And then lastly we got Azrian. Oh, there's a few more actually, no. It's this one here. Icy dwarf planet with a moon, Larzo on an extremely eccentric inclined orbit. So, pretty basic stuff there. These descriptions are a lot smaller than the first ones. There. Then we have Partran. Where's that? Over here. So it's further out. An icy dwarf planet with a ring on its highly eccentric orbit that is strongly affected by the presence of Alkanost. So there it is there. And that does it for these 3 systems. That is absolutely everything. Whew, that was a wild ride, wasn't it? Yeah, about 50, I said it would probably be around 50 minutes. There we are. So 51 minutes so far in. And that does it for the 3 systems submitted by Saf Phoenix. So a massive thank you to him sending these in. It must have been a while. I apologise for the awful pronunciations. I mean, even if you tell me how to sound, I'm still going to butcher it. So yeah, apologies for that. But I mean, I tried with some of them. My voice is a little achy today as well. That doesn't help either. I've been trying to drink as much as I can while while filming this, as it's this is a long haul. But yeah, there we are. So massive thanks to Saf Phoenix for submitting those. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode as well. If you did, make sure to press that like button, subscribe for more as well. Helps on the journey to 30,000 subscribers. And yeah, guys, if that's all said and done, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.